Okay, g'day everyone. Thought I'd do a quick little video detailing the differences between the Dora and the Anton, or standard FMS versus the modified one. This of course, autofocus is funny. This of course is my Dora, the first one I did largely by hand, no digital work or 3D printing available to me at the time, which turned out alright. The supercharger intake is off that plane there. I ordered it as spare parts, and the exhaust stacks are off this model as well. That's my 109 from FMS, of course. So it's a little large because the 109 from FMS is actually 1/6.5 scale or something. It's probably the largest scale plane they do in the 1400 size. And the standard Focke-Wulf is I've got paper here, 1/7.5 scale based on the wingspan. But because they've got oversized tail section, slightly, I think it's the vertical stab, the blade dog. It's a little longer than it should be at that scale. So based on the length of the fuselage, it's 1/7.32 scale. So it's I'm just going to work off the wingspan because thankfully with the Dora mod you get to adjust the length of the tail anyway. So I can just simply make it a bit shorter and it will work out all fine. So yeah, obviously short nose versus the long nose. So this, here's one I prepared earlier. This is where you take the nose off, and then when you get the fuselage, the nose fiberglass shell, you can put a piece of plywood, epoxy that into the shell, and then use that. Lots of area here to put support carbon for attaching purposes all around. Still have your slot for your battery. All the usual stuff inside, nothing has to change in there. The gun hood's there. All the rest is completely standard. The exhaust stacks for the Anton, this is just a plastic unit that pops out. It's only held on with a little bit of glue in most cases. The lines that the fuselage follow at that point, when I did the first mod, I was absolutely amazed to find out that when you pull these out, and the molded foam lines are exactly where you need to be trimming the foam to make the Dora nose fit. It was just a pure luck that when they made it, it happened that way. So you've got built-in guidelines basically, because the fuselage on the Dora starts to narrow from about here. It starts to sort of, instead of going out wide like the A model does, sort of tapers back in to fit the inline engine. So very lucky that you got the built-in guides. But of course when I get to that I'll show you anyway. So I'm expecting the look of this Dora to be, because this is what I'm converting this into, will be a lot better than this one. This one's okay, but it's not perfect. The nose isn't quite the right shape because I had to hand carve it, and then fiberglass around it and stuff. I've made a new cowling based off actual side view drawings and stuff instead of just freehanding it. This is the prop I'm testing at the moment. It's a new design. So these are going to be wooden blades. I'm building a copy carver at the moment, and this centre part is an aluminium, or aluminum for our American friends, clamp system, which happens to fit. So yeah, and that just sits on the back plate, and it all fits the standard engine mount. Fits it perfectly. So, and there's scale blades. So yeah, that's the Dora. I'm printing the new gun hood at the moment. And that's how the nose is going to be. This top section here is plastic, and that actually just comes off. You can see the inside. Also there's a weight in here, so you can dig that out It's in the nose. I had an engine came out a while back. It's in the nose around here. You can just dig that out, and depending on what power setup you go with, if you modify to a Dora, you may want to go with a more powerful engine if you're running the scale propellers, or stick with a normal one. But if you do, you may need to add that weight to the tail, purely because even though the tail's longer, there's more stuff up front, and because it'll be lightly fiberglassed with possible ply and bigger batteries, and there'll be tons of space to fit sound system and all that sort of crap, you may need to add that weight down the back. I did on mine, because I've gone with a bigger motor in this one. I went with a G something, G36 I think. Oh, and also that's the dummy radiator. That'll be part of one of the things available with the cowling as well. So I've added mine. Get under there, see that little bit protruding at the bottom? That's the weight. I just dug out a bit and epoxied it in, and it balances fine. So yeah, I just want to do a quick video to show that, and more to come. I'm printing parts at the moment. The first part is all printed, which I'll just show you over here. It's a bloody hot day today. It's going to get to about 40. These are the supercharger intakes, so that's fresh straight off the printer, nothing done. The finish isn't too bad. It's at, yeah, the finish isn't too bad. This is a 0.2 or 200 micron resolution, so quick little coating, 2 or 3 coats of Star Spray with a brush, and that'll be smooth as. And of course, it's usable as a air intake. So a bit of finishing work on that, not much, and it'll look really good. I got grey filament, makes it easier. This is the first one I printed. It had a tube inside it and everything to direct the air, but it's very thin. As often the case with designing work in the computer, you don't realise how thin it actually is until you feel it in your hand. So I made it a lot thicker. So that's a good 2mm there, and it's very rigid. That's a completely usable part right there. So at the moment I'm printing the first half of the gun hood, and that should be ready in about an hour. Gee, the focus on this camera is pretty rubbish. Yeah, the new gun hood is in 2 halves, and once I've done that I'll start printing the nose. So yeah, alright. Oh, by the way, American friends, your president is in our country today. He just landed this morning at Amber Air Force Base, which is about an hour's drive from me, so hey, I'll say good day. Alright, have a good one guys.